Hello, welcome to a new video. It's another December Christmas themed video, of course. I say another, I don't know if this is the first Christmassy themed one because I don't know what order I'm putting these videos up. I'm just pre-filming a bunch of stuff for December. But I've created another Christmassy book tag. So last year I created the novelty Christmas song book tag, which wherever it goes is gonna go there, where obviously before people had done Christmas songs, so like All I Want for Christmas Is You and like the basic Christmas songs, and I was like, all the novelty Christmas songs that I absolutely love just get pushed to the side and forgotten about, and they're my favorites. So I did a tag for those ones, and then I was trying to think of a really good idea for a new tag for this year, and I was thinking of Mince Pies. Mince Pies came into my head. And then I was like, why don't I do a Christmas treats book tag? And I had a look and I could not find that anyone had ever done this before. And if they have, they haven't called it Christmas treats book tag. I did find the Christmas cookie book tag, which I am doing. And that video will be posted in like maybe a week after this one or something. But apart from the Christmas cookie book tag, I could not find anyone that had done a Christmas treats book tag. So I did it. So this is the Christmas treats book tag. So I picked a few like Christmassy treats and desserts and stuff that I like, and I came up with prompts for them. And I'm gonna tell you the books I've chosen for those prompts. It's so much fun making a tag. I'm just gonna get stuck in. I don't have a Christmassy drink with me because I am not feeling a hot drink right now because it is really warm in my room because we've got the heating on. The sun is beating into my room, so I've had to put my fan on. So I needed a cold drink. So not sponsored. I'd love to be sponsored by Dr. Pepper, but I'm not. So yeah. Okay, so the first treat is Mince Pies, a book with a great cover and an even better filling. So I love a mince pie. It's not controversial, but like it's an unpopular opinion. Some people, like a lot of people, don't like mince pies. I make the best mince pies, and I'm not just saying that to brag. Like I do. I make amazing mince pies. I make the dough. I don't do the filling from scratch. I buy the Tesco own brand jar of mincemeat. But I make the dough from scratch, and it is amazing. So a book with a great cover, so like the crust, the pastry, and then the filling. So for this I'm choosing Brotherhood by Mike Chen. So this is one of the Star Wars books, and I love this cover because Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, like, of course. But I read this, and honestly this is probably my favorite Star Wars book that I've read so far. It was so good, and I really loved getting to see some of the stuff that happens between films 2 and 3, because this takes place before then, and it's something that is mentioned in passing in Revenge of the Sith. That's the main thing that happens in this, and I loved it. Also, yeah, my jumper jingles. Next up, we have sugar cookies. Sugar cookies are a huge thing at Christmas, and I always make them, and I always make reindeer shaped ones and then hate myself because the antlers always break off. But sugar cookies, so it's something sweet, so a cute and cozy book, or cute or cozy book. So for this, I'm choosing The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune because this is such a cozy little read. The first time I read this was between Christmas and New Year, and I did a 12-hour sprints, and I read this in those 12-hour sprints, and it was so much fun, and it was so cozy. I loved it. Next up is Christmas pudding. Now this is alcohol, because traditionally you cover the Christmas pudding in brandy and then set it alight, so it's got alcohol in it, so it's an adult book. I'm choosing 2 books for this because I wanted to choose a romance, but then I was like, oh, but I really want to choose this other book. So my romance that I'm choosing is Rosaline Palmer Takes the Cake by Alexis Hall. I loved this because it has Bake Off vibes. It literally takes place on a baking show, which is very clearly Great British Bake Off, but they couldn't call it that. But this was amazing, and I loved it so much. And then the other adult book that I wanted to say was To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini, because I did not expect to love this book the way I did, and I was just so happy that I did love it. It's like adult sci-fi, and it was chunky, and it was the first chunky adult sci-fi I'd ever read, and now it's made me want to read more. So yeah. Next up we have Gingerbread. Now Gingerbread, like, you use all the different spices, so we have a book with spice. And it's not Love Hypothesis, it's Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. Don't worry, you're gonna see Love Hypothesis, to no one's surprise. This has really good spice in it. I really enjoyed this one. I mean, obviously it's Ali Hazelwood, but yeah, I was gonna do something like Katie Robert for this, but then I was like, but Jack and Elsie. The next one is Yule Log. And for this, Yule Logs are quite a traditional thing. So for this, we're going to do a book you like to reread, because you make it a tradition to reread it. I told you was going to see it. It's The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I have read this book about 8 times now in 2 years. It's got to be more than that, actually. I've read it so much. I love it so much. It is easily one, if I am in a slump or something, I'm just going to pick this up and it will cure my slump. So yeah. Next up we have candy canes. Now these are quite decorative. A lot of people don't even eat them. They just like put them on their Christmas trees. I actually have a couple of Christmas tree decorations. They're not edible. Can I find one? No, I can't find one. I cannot find one, but I actually have a couple of tree decorations that they're not edible, they are plastic, but they're candy canes because they're decorative, and a lot of people like to put them on their tree or hang them like by the stockings and stuff. So for this, it's a beautiful cover. We're going for aesthetics, we're going for beautiful covers, and for this I was so like, I didn't want to go for a special edition because all special editions going to be beautiful. I wanted to go for just like a standard edition that I've just bought from like Waterstones, and this is technically a Waterstone special edition, but the only thing special about it is that it's got sprayed edges, so I'm okay using this. You can use a special edition if you want, if you do this tag, just gonna put that out there. It just, I didn't want to, but I'm choosing Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan, because look at that cover. This is a standard edition. I mean, technically it's not because it's got the edges, but this is the standard cover for the UK cover. And this is just absolutely stunning with the green and the pink, and I just absolutely adore this cover. Next up we have Panettone, and I've probably said that wrong, but I don't care, that's how I say it. So this is like a fruity bread. So fruity. So for this, you've got to pick an LGBTQ+ book. And for this I've chosen Written in the Stars by Alexandria Bellefleur. This is sapphic and I was so here for it. It's also technically a Pride and Prejudice retelling, which just, yes. I loved this book. It was amazing, and it is gay as hell because it's like a sapphic couple, and it made me happy. Next up we have a trifle, and I'm not talking about the trifle that Rachel made for Thanksgiving in Friends. An actual trifle. So for this, like, obviously a trifle has layers. So for this, I want you to give me a book that falls under more than one genre. It could be 2 genres, it could be 3. So I am choosing Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Bayron. The reason is, so it is fantasy. It's got a fantasy element. It's also got a bit of like a sci-fi dystopian element. And then also, I count retellings as a genre. It's a retelling. So this is a multi-genre book. Even if you don't count retelling as a genre, which I do, but even if you don't, it's still fantasy and dystopian. So yeah. Next up is a drinkable treat, and it's Buck's Fizz. Now Buck's Fizz is very bubbly because it's got bubbles in it. So for this, you need a light-hearted book. And for this, I'm choosing Spellbound by F.T. Lukens, any F.T. Lukens book, but this is my favourite of the 3 I've read. So this one, because all of them are just so light-hearted. Like, yeah, there's always some sort of conflict in them, but they are so happy. and so lighthearted and so heartwarming, and I love them. And then finally we have Shortbread. Shortbread is thick. It is a thick, you want shortbread that's like this thick. So we're going to go for a chunky book. It can be any genre, any age category, any book you like, but it's got to be chunky. So for this, I have chosen The Iron Crown by L.L. McRae. This is definition of chunky. Like, this is a lot of pages. This is almost 600 pages. Not the chunkiest book I've ever read, but I wanted to give you something that wasn't Kingdom of Ash or To Sleep at a Sea of Stars. And this book is amazing and everyone should read it. So yeah, it's got dragons. So that was my Christmas treats book tag. I hope you do this. If you want to do this but don't want to film a video or anything, just put in the comments what you would choose for each of these options. I am actually going to tag. Now, I've only had 3 people say they want me to tag them. So I'm going to tag Ash from Ash's Bookish Life, Jem from Bookish Gems, and Lisa from Lisa Does Life. But I'm also tagging everyone else who wants to do it, and just make sure you tag me so that I can see your answers because I'm nosy. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed this tag that I created, and I'm very happy about it. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.